Hi book friends, my name is Jen. Welcome back to my channel. This is my March TBR with the Dragon Horde board. Before I did my rolls, I made this list, and this is the list of all of the priorities that I would like to read in March. Obviously, I'm not going to get to all of these, but these are the books that I'm going to try first to fit into all of the prompts that I roll. So let's see how many I get. A quick refresher, if this is your first time here, this is the Dragon Horde board. And at the beginning of the game, I roll a d20 to see how many rolls I need to make this month. The game ends when I have completed the number of rolls, or if I get to the top of the board first. And the ultimate goal, which hasn't happened yet this year, is to roll the exact number of spaces that I need to land on the special edition book. When I land on the special edition book, I get to purchase myself a new book. But don't be fooled. I'm still purchasing books even when I don't land on the special edition because I'm an adult and that's my right. So I have already pre-rolled. So let's see how the first roll went. On the first roll, I landed on a genre card, and the prompt was to read a genre that I don't usually read. This is hard for me because I try to read across all genres, even though I do mainly stick to fantasy and romance. So for this prompt, I picked Saga. I picked this for two reasons. One, because it's a graphic novel, and two, because it is set in space. And I don't read a lot of graphic novels, and I don't read a lot of science fiction. This is Compendium 1, so this is a lot of different volumes all put together. I am not going to try to read this entire thing in March, but who knows, maybe I will. But I do want to try to get a good way through it and at least start it, get the ball rolling so I have some momentum to finish this in the future. The second roll landed me on the other space, and the prompt that I got for this one was a book that was published before 2015. For this one, I did jump over to my Kindle TBR, and I chose A Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. From what I understand, this is a cozy space fantasy, a cozy sci-fi. I'm not really sure. I do know that I have read some other stuff by Becky Chambers before, and I absolutely loved it. That's why she was on my Kindle TBR to begin with, and I think that this will be a fairly quick read. The next roll was a long rest. I've gotten this all 3 months that I've played this game in 2025. And all that means is that at the end of the game, all the prompts that I have pulled and used will get shuffled back into the decks. My fourth roll was a portal, which just shot me from one portal down to another portal, and it just got me further away from my goal of reaching the top of the board. There was no book prompt. I landed on the cover square, and the prompt for that was to read a book with orange on the cover. So I chose the newest Percy Jackson book. This is the second book in the Percy Jackson Senior Year Adventure series, which comes after the end of the last Percy Jackson book. And this is The Wrath of the Triple Goddess. I really was not aiming to read this book anytime soon, but because it does have a lot of orange on the cover and because it will catch me up on a series, I decided to go with this one. Also, I think it's going to be a pretty quick read. The last roll landed me on another other square, and the prompt for that was a family pick. So I did have my daughter pick the book off of my TBR for me, and I was going to make a video of her explaining why she picked the book that she did, but we had a college tour yesterday. We were all very tired, so we didn't get around to it. So this is my daughter, Aubrey. She's 18. She's graduating from high school this year, and she chose Belladonna for me, and I quote, "Because you finally got the copy that you wanted and you haven't shut up about it. Now you can finally read it." So I did have Belladonna on my TBR for a while, but it was the hardcover that was solid white. And I recently bought the box set that has all of the beautiful covers on it. And I've just been really excited about it. So I have been talking about it a lot. Plus, I secretly think she wants to read it. So she wants my feedback on whether I think that she's going to like it or not. Now, that might not seem like a lot of books, but I am also working my way through Words of Radiance, which is book 2 in the Stormlight Archives. As I'm recording this, we still have a week left in February, and my goal at the beginning of February was to have this halfway done by the end of the month, and clearly I'm not there. So this book will continue into March, possibly even into April. However, I do have spring break in March, so I'm really hoping that that week that I have off of school, I will be able to get a lot of reading done in the Stormlight Archives. Don't get me wrong, the reason that I haven't read more than I wanted is just because of life and reading other books that were on my TBR. I'm 211 pages into this so far, and those 211 pages are a 5-star read. I'm also in a few book clubs, so let's talk about the books that I will be reading for the book clubs. Over on the Patreon with Books and Heather, we voted on and picked The Will of the Many for our March read. This is a book that I've had literally since it came out. I don't think I've ever heard anybody say anything bad about this book. The sequel comes out this year, so this was a priority read for me in 2025. She's a little chunky, but like I said, I'm hoping that spring break will allow me to read through some of these thick books. And I have heard a lot of people compare this to Red Rising because it is Roman inspired. There is somebody who is an underdog and they infiltrate the system. It's just not set in space. So this will definitely be a priority read for me in March. Another book club that I am hosting online is a romance book club with the Facebook group Bookmark Baddies. And this month we voted on a book that I don't think I probably would have ever picked up, even though I see it all over the place. The hype when this came out, the hype when I first got on Booktube and BookTok was just crazy for this book. And a lot of people really, really like it. So I'm hoping that I like it too. It's also on Kindle, so I don't have a physical copy. And it is Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. Yes, another thick book, but this one I will be breaking up into chunks over the 4 weeks of March. So I don't think it's going to put a cramp in my physical TBR too much. And of course, the book that isn't even out yet, but I'm super excited. I think it comes out on March 18th, and that is Sunrise on the Reaping, the new Hunger Games book by Suzanne Collins. That is also going to be a priority read for me when I get it. I don't think that one's going to take me that long to read either. And that's my March TBR. Like I said, I won't say really. I'm fairly certain I can get through a good chunk of this. But we'll see. I've thought that before. That's the fun of making a TBR. If you have made it this far, I would appreciate if you would help out the algorithm to get my video boosted. I do try to post every single Sunday. And if you could just leave a comment, if you're not feeling chatty or you don't know what to post, just post a random emoji or you could tell me what you are reading in the month of March. As always, I appreciate your likes, your comments, your subscribes, and until the next video, happy reading.